Hello everyone, I'm going to go over my level 97 Witch Necromancer that has poison, zombies, raising summoning spirits, and skeletons. And it does 70 million full DPS and Guardian Pinnacle Boss. I will have the PoB in the description, and I might put in a stream for it, but it's not the exact same build, but I might put it in there anyways, so... Alright, I'm going to jump into the tree and explain how I would level it, so you could follow along while you're leveling. Let me just hop in really quick. Alright, my first stop would be Lord of the Undead, and then I would take Death Attunement. You're getting Spectres, raised zombies, and skeletons with these two nodes, and that's going to give you more damage in DPS and survivability. Next, I would go and get Sacrifice, which is going to regenerate your zombies a lot and give you a little bit of health regeneration as well. Then you're going to swing down and you're going to pick up Grave Pack, which is going to increase your minions' damage a lot. And you're going to pick up a lot of goodies on the way getting the Grave Pack. Then I would get Redemption for more minion damage. Then I would get Sovereignty. The first ore that you're going to want to get is Purity of Elements. And what Purity of Elements does is it increases your elemental resists and makes you immune to elemental ailments. Then you're going to work on your health nodes. And you have a couple of them, and you can pick whatever order you want to get them in. You have Purity of Flesh, Cruel Preparation, Heart and Soul, and Combat Stamina. And you have Armor Mastery, and this one's really good. You can take it when you pick the Combat Stamina, and it's 20% chance to defend with 200% of armor. And you also have a Life Mastery, and this one's up to you, but it's 10 increased maximum life and 10 reduced recovered life recovery rate. So there's a drawback for that one, but it's still pretty good. Then you're going to pick up your block chance. And the first block chance that you're going to get is Agmatic Defense, and it gives you both block chance and spell block chance. Then you're going to come down and get Whirling Barrier and pick up the Mastery for it, which is 30% increased defenses while wielding a staff. And Whirling Barrier also gives you block, spell block, and spell block. Then you're going to get Steelwood Stance, and then you're going to take the Staff Mastery, 2% energy shield and life when you block with the staff. And then you are going to pick up Mystic Bulwark, and that will be that. And then you are going to work on getting Influence, and you will also get a increased mana reservation efficiency of skills node when you get it. I'll go over to Whispers of Doom later on. I'm also using Eldritch Battery, and Eldritch Battery protects your mana and in essence gives you more mana when you use it. And when you have that much energy shield, it allows you to summon your Raging Summoning Spirits and summoning skeletons a lot easier. Alright, I'm going to go over the Cluster Jewels. The Cluster Jewels I'm using, the passive skill doesn't really matter. What you're really looking for is 35 increased effect and increased attack and cast speed by 3%. The other small passive skills also grant is up to you. And these are pretty expensive. I got them for 3 divine, so they might be more or less. I'm not too sure. Then you have a lot of Ghastly Eye Jewels, and the stats that you're looking for on Ghastly Eye Jewels, excuse me. The stats you're looking for are minions deal increased damage if you use a minion skill recently, and minions have 11% chance to poison enemies on hit. My stats on all my Ghastly Eye Jewels are not correct, and they could become very expensive if you want to make them perfect. But the last two stat lines that you're looking for on a Ghastly Eye Jewel are minions deal chaos or physical damage. Or you could just use whatever you want. You could get a taunt, minions taunt on hit, or blind on hit. It's definitely up to you. I'm just giving you the choice for more damage. I'm also using the Gaze, and the Gaze increases damage over time per Ghastly Eye Jewel affecting you up to a maximum of 30%. And this counts, the Gaze counts as a Ghastly Eye Jewel. So you're going to need 4 more yellow Ghastly Eye Jewels to increase it to 30%. And every Ghastly Eye Jewel that you socket is going to increase it by 6%. Then I am using the Watcher's Eye, and I'm using cast resistance while affected by Purity of Elements, which is really good. You have phasing while affected by haste, and phasing allows you to run through everything in the game except for walls. That'd be pretty cool, huh? And I am also using Forbidden Flesh and Forbidden Flame, and I'm using Void Beacon, and I will go over that in a second when I go over the other ascendancies, which I'm going to do right now. And the first ascendancy you are going to get is Commander of Darkness. Commander of Darkness increases your minions' damage and gives them elemental resist by 30%, and also gives you 30% increased elemental resist. Then it's going to be up to you. No, actually, you're going to get mindless aggression, which is going to increase your minions' damage. And then the next two are going to be up to you. Unnatural Strength is going to increase your minions' damage a lot. And then you're going to have Bone Barrier, which is going to increase your survivability. And what Bone Barrier does is, when you have 10 minions around you, it only works with only 10 minions up to you. It's going to increase your physical damage reduction by 10, and then it's going to increase your recovery rate of life and energy shield by 20%. And it's very good. Now, Void Beacon. What Void Beacon does is when you're nearby enemies, it reduces cold and cast resist by negative 20%. Really why we're using this for the cast resist negative 20%. And then you are also getting the nearby enemies have 100% reduced life regeneration rate, which I find to be huge and is not calculated in the path of building. So that goes over the talent tree, I believe. Just let me take a really quick look. The Reservation Mastery is up to you if you want to use it or not. I'm also using Immutable Force, so I cannot be stunned for very long. And I also have You Cannot Be Hindered. That's definitely up to you as the implicit. Alright, I'm going to jump into skills. I'm going to go over the zombies really quick. Actually, I'll just say that I use Bone Armor, and Bone Armor is the ascendancy from Bone Barrier. Commandment of Reflection does not really matter. It's just attached to my gloves as an enchant. You don't need it or anything. Alright, I'm going to go over the raised zombies. You don't need the raised zombie level 21 gem default will work just perfectly fine, but the phantasmal one is more damage. And you will have 10 zombies at the end of the build. And it's very cheap, but Phantasmal Raised Zombies is going to be expensive. Awaken Unbound Ailments, I'm going to say is about a divine or less. Awaken Void Manipulation is about 3 divine, I'm going to guess. Then I'm using Multi-Strike, a different variant, and the variant is where the damage is coming from. So make sure that you get a 20. And it's much, much cheaper than Awaken Multi-Strike. I got this for 1 divine. I'm not sure how much it's going for anymore. Awakened minion damage is very cheap, probably a divine or less. And then I have Empowered 4, which is very expensive. But you could lower the gem level of it and still have really good damage. Let me check it really quick so you can check it out. So it's about 1,000,000 DPS. But I think you might also lose a zombie. So it could possibly be up to about a 2,000,000 DPS drop, full DPS. But for sake of explaining the build, I will increase these again. But level empowered 3 is going to be much cheaper than empowered 4, of course. Alright, I'm going to go over the Raging Summoning Spirit and Veil Summoning Skeletons 5 links. And Raging Summoning Spirits level 21 variant shouldn't be too expensive. You could also get in a variant for summoning Raging Spirits that gives you 2 more Raging Spirits to increase your damage. It's definitely going to be up to you. Summon Veil Skeletons is the level 21 gem for it is very expensive. I had to pay 9, not cash, but Divine Orbs to get it. And you're probably going to want to spend less than that. So level 20 Veil Summoning Skeletons, I'm not sure of the cost, but I'm going to guess it's probably like 3 to 5 Divine. Then you are using Awakened Minion damage, which is a Divine or less. Awaken Unleash is about 8 Divine. It's pretty expensive. And what Awaken Unleash does, or Unleash does, it allows you to summon more Raging Summoning Spirits and Veil Summoning Skeletons when you use it. It kind of like makes like a, I believe it that this is what it does. It like gives you like a buff and that like counts over time, and when you actually use a summoning ability, it increases the amount of creatures or effects that you actually get from it. You could probably use Unleash and it's probably not that expensive, just a normal variant. Awaken Unbound Ailments, probably about a Divine or less. And then I'm using the same multi-strike variant for my Raging Summoning Spirits and Veil Summoning Skeletons. And like I said before, the level doesn't matter, and you're looking for quality on this one. Alright, I'm going to go over the gloves. I'm using Summon Cast Golem for Culling Strike, which is a pretty big DPS increase. What Culling Strike does is it kills enemies that are under 10% life, which is really cool. Then you have Withering Step, which gives creatures Withering Touch, and it gives a large chunk of it too. You can only have 15 Withering stacks, and when you touch a mob, when you have Withering Step, it's 9 Withering debuffs. So it's really huge. And then I have Veil Haste. You don't need Veil Haste. You could definitely use the normal variant Haste. But if you want to have a more burst damage on a boss fight, at the end of the boss fight, or like at the end of a map boss, then like a Veil Haste would definitely be really good. It's a really big DPS increase. Alright, the boots. I have Temporal Chains, which are going to be hard casting. So you're probably going to only want to use Temporal Chains at the end of the boss. I'm also using Despair, another curse, and you're going to be needing to use Whispers of Doom to actually use both of them, and it's a lot of DPS, a huge DPS increase. Then I have Withering Touch, which increases the amount of Withering stacks that you make. So Withering Step and Withering Touch go together to increase the amount of Withering stacks that you could actually put on a mob. And remember, the max amount of Withering stacks that you could have is 15. Then you have Feeding Frenzy, which is a buff that increases minions' damage and attack speed. And the Ray Spectre linked to it is the one causing it to go off. Ray Spectres are going to be Carnage Chieftains, and you're going to have 3 of them. The helmet, you have Purity of Elements. I went over Purity of Elements already. You have Determination for more armor and survivability. And then you have Despair, which is the other curse I was talking about. And then you have Malevolence, which increases dot damage. You could definitely get a different variant to do more damage with this, so it's going to be up to you. And that goes over the skills. I'm going to jump into the items. And I'm using the Cane, and I love the Cane. I think it's the best staff in the game for minions. All the stats are great. So if you want to get a cheaper version of this, just remove the +3 to socketed support gems and the quality of socketed support gems. It should be much, much cheaper. But this is a great item. It has my certificate of approval for every build that I make. And I have the helmet. The helmet implicits are great, the stats are great, but you do not need suppressed chance to spell damage. But the bench craft that you're looking for is raised zombies and skeletons +1. The helmet cost me 8 divine, so it might be more expensive to actually get a helmet like this, or cheaper. I'm not sure at the moment. I'm not really looking for gear right now because I have a nice set of gear. Then you are using the Covenant, and this is a huge DPS increase. It's giving you about 9 million DPS increase. I got this for 4 divine with all white sockets. I prefer to get white sockets for my chest a lot because I don't like really trying to get the socket colors. And this is a great chest. You could definitely use it. It gives this build a lot of damage. Then you have the Triad grip, and all the sockets are white. And what it's supposed to do is make your minions bypass energy shield when they attack it. But for some reason, I'm noticing that it doesn't work on bosses right now. So I'm not sure if it's broken or if they changed it. Then you have the boots, and the boots cost me about 2 to 3 divine. And you could get the boots, like, you could get really good boots for really cheap. I always just look for increased movement speed and to supplement my build and try to like get rid of stuff or make my stats higher to wear something so I could have more nodes on the talent tree. The necklace is expensive. Last time I checked, it's going for 22 divine orbs, but you could use the Purity of Elements version of this, and it will only be 4 divine the last time I checked. And you want to get Whispers of Doom enchantment on there. I should say anointment, I apologize. And that'll cost you about 150 to 120 cast orbs, and you're looking for 3 golden oils. The rings are really good optimized, and you could definitely use the stats off of them for your build. But I paid a lot for these. I paid like a ridiculous amount for them. But I'm sure you could get a great pair of bone rings for really cheap. They're all over the place. Then I'm using Darkness Enthroned, and what this does is it increases the effect of socketed Abyss Jewels. So having 2 Abyss Jewels with increased minion damage and minions' chance to poison helps a lot with other stats. You're going to be having Ghastly Eye Jewels in there as well to increase the damage of the gaze. I'm using the Blood. It's my favorite flask in the game for health regeneration and healing. What it does is it recovers health, and after 2.7 seconds, it recovers your life to full after the effect is off. This helps a lot when you actually do maps with decreased health regeneration. Then I'm using the Pro. When hit during effect, 25% of life loss from damage taken occurs over 4 seconds instead. Just saying that, it's huge. I also use it when charges reach full. Then Concoction, Granite Flask. Oh, let me also add, if you don't have the money for the Pro, then you could definitely use a Granite Flask with armor and getting stat lines for more armor. And it should be really good and a lot cheaper. Then Granite Flask, it gives you block chance and spell block, which is really good, and I can use when charges reach full. Then I have a Quicksilver Flask that increases your movement speed, and the last flask is up to you. And whatever belt you want to use is up to you. I don't have any like other stuff in the actual PoB, but it's definitely up to you. I already went over everything else in the items. I'm going to jump into configuration, and I'm using the major god. Actually, you could pick whatever gods you want, but I always use the same, and I'll just go over them really quick. I'm using the god that increases your physical damage reduction and movement speed with up to 8%, by up to 8% per enemy next to you, so it varies. And then I'm using the minor god that doesn't allow you for bleeding to affect you when it hits you, and then you start moving. The frenzy charges are coming from Carnage Chieftains from Act 2. You get them very early on. Elusive is coming from the Withering Step. Our flash active, yes. You only need to have 10 summon minions to get the full effect of Bone Barrier. Are you on Consecrated Ground? Because I am using the Bottle of Faith, I am. Then, how many enemies are by you? I just put 8. You're typically going to have 8 enemies around you unless you're doing a boss. If you're doing a boss, you could change your Major God and Minor God what you want. That's typically what they want you to do, is to change your Major and Minor God depending on what fight you're doing. I really don't care because I could kill everything in the game with this build. Have you been hit recently? Blocked recently? Yes, yes. You used a minion skill recently. We're going to be using a ton of minion skills. We're going to be using Raging Summoning Spirits and Summoning Skeletons. Is Feeding Frenzy active? Yes, it's linked to your raised Spectres. Withering Sticks is 15. You have Withering Step and you have Withering Touch, which is going to add up very quickly and give you 15 stacks. Is the enemy on Consecrated Ground? Yes. This is on Guardian Pinnacle, and it's around 70 million full DPS rounded up. And you can check the is the enemy a boss stats right here. The Uber Pinnacle boss, it's 35 million full DPS, which is pretty high. I'm gonna leave it on Guardian Pinnacle boss, and I will hop in the game. Alright, and show you a little bit of the builds. I'll do a couple of maps. I need to summon my Spectres really quick. Sorry about that. Oh my god, I don't know where Desecrate is. There it is, okay. Just let me summon my Spectres really quick. Now I gotta wait and try to get them. Alright, this is going pretty good. Just one more, come on now. There we go. I got a cast golem too. Switch this back to skeletons, and I should be good to go. I apologize about that. Alright, here we go, blast off. Pretty much simple build. Just summon your skeletons and Raging Summoning Spirits while running around the map. Everything should die in a second. This map is square with very linear and very claustrophobic map. You don't really have much room to move around, so you have to run around mobs a lot. You can't really run around mobs or zigzag through mobs. And having phasing while hasted from your Watcher's Eye helps a great deal with doing this map. I should say there's little cul-de-sacs in this map too. They have a little bit of space, but it's still really claustrophobic. You don't have any offerings, so you don't have to consume any corpses, which is cool. You don't have to remember that. You'd probably put flesh offering in this build or bone offering and make it even stronger, more survivable, or more damage in DPS. Maybe I'll have to do that in one of my next videos. I believe I have some boss fights I could do as well. Like when you go into a boss room, you typically have time and like space to like do something. So just make a couple summoning Raging Spirits, and then summon your skeletons and blast them off with Withering Touch and Withering Step. Alright, I am going to do another map. I'm going to do the carcass map. Like I said before, just run through the map, summon your raging summoning spirits and skeletons. You could also use Withering Step for a movement boost and a little bit more efficient hit pull. It's definitely up to you. I don't really use my curses at all while doing monsters on maps unless I'll do it on a boss. But with this build, you might not even have to because they're going to be dead so fast. You could also use Veil Summoning Skeletons and Veil Haste with this build if you have them, which increases your burst damage. I call it burst damage because you can't always use it. So if you want a little bit of more burst, or you feel uncomfortable about a situation with a lot of creatures or monsters, you just rip off Veil Summoning Skeleton and Veil Haste and just torch them really fast. I'm running around in a circle here. Pop Withering Step for a little wound boost. There we go. There's where I need to go. This is a very narrow map. Not a lot of space to move around or avoid creatures. Wow, there's no monsters anywhere. There we go. This build should be able to kill fast enough to like get your flask going keep your flask going all the time. And with haste and the phasing from the Watcher's Eye really helps a lot too, so that you could just run through stuff and make sure that your flasks are going at all times. For some reason I'm getting power charges and I don't know why. I might do the Elder fight after this really quick. It should be a very easy fight for this build. I shouldn't die at all. I'll probably tear through her really fast and she won't be able to really do anything at the start of the fight. Oh cool, I got a Hydra map. I'm gonna do the Hydra map really quick to show you the how good the damage is on a Guardian. Let me just check something really quick. I might have like a I'm looking for a Maven map that could be harder to do so you could see what's going on. No, I don't have anything. Okay. Just a lot of summoning going on. I usually just hit the skeleton button and then the raging summoning button to summon everything. You should just plow right through maps with this build. It's retardedly powerful. Really nothing to it. Pretty easy. This map is like a bunch of squares with narrow corridors and large openings for squares, which is really, really cool. Oh, Eyes of the Great Wolf. I never got one of those before. I should be getting close to the boss room. You could definitely avoid monsters on this map pretty easy. Alright, here comes the boss. And he gone. That was fast. He couldn't even portal out to summon creatures for himself. Alright, let's do the Elder. I need to make some room in my bag to do it. Oh, I got, hold on a second, I got some Waking Our Worlds fights I could do. I didn't even realize it. Alright, it's kind of a boring fight to film for people, I guess, but I'll do them anyways. I'm gonna switch my Veil of Haste to, nah, forget it, I'll just keep it on. Alright, this is normal mode, Waking Our Worlds. I'm gonna destroy everything. Alright, I always do the same thing at the start of the fight. I just rush them, and you typically could get to them before you die or get hit by anything. Now I gotta wait to activate the fight again and avoid a bunch of stuff. He's running. He's scared. I really don't like all this mess around here. Oh, I almost died. I need to be really careful here. Can I squeeze through there? I don't know. Okay, that sucked. I'm really trying to push the fight to him now. Oh, he's gonna go all the way behind it now. Can I wrap around here? Okay, that's good. He should be coming out this side, I believe, pretty soon. Alright, good, there we go. Alright, he's running again. Oh, this is... Here comes the money phase. Let's see if I can burn him without him actually doing anything. I forgot to use Withering Step on him. He gone. That was pretty easy. Alright, I gotta wait for the portal. I'll do the Elder and maybe 1 or 2 more maps. Alright, just let me grab them really quick. Ton of stuff in my bags that I need to get rid of, but alright, here we go. Here comes the Elder fight. I'm just gonna crush her probably. She might kill me at the start of the fight with some like ice spear attack, but for the most part she should go down really, really fast. Alright. There's a lot of monsters spawning in the portals, or Elder portals, I think they're called. She should be spawning soon. I'm gonna pop Veil Summoning Skeletons. Be waiting for her. And I'm gonna smoke her. Like a crown cigarette. She's not spawning as soon as I thought. It sucks. Oh, this came up again. Alright, that was easy. Did she drop anything good? No, not really. Okay, so that's a level up. That was 2 bosses. I could do the Shaper fight too, but I'm not really. I could do Maven. I'll do Maven. I always die in Maven, so. Here we go. Oh, I almost forgot to summon my Raging Summoning Spirits. She's down for the count. Now the Big Ugly's coming. The big eye in the sky. running away. I gotta deal with her again. Play some hopscotch and we should be good to go again on the fight. She's running again. Here comes Big Ugly. Back to this phase. I don't remember. Build this one. She's down for the count, and here comes Big Ugly. What? A lot of crap on and around. Alright, he gone. Here comes Maven again. Okay, here we go. Can I get it? Oh my god. I'm dead. Alright. Hopefully I could burn her down right here. Alright, that was Maven. What did I get? Impossible. Necromancer, I'm not even sure about that one. Well, I guess that's it. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Please be safe and careful because you never know when something bad is going to happen. Please be careful. Please, please, please. And till next time, have a nice day. Show some love and sub.